proud to be sponsored by Diamond Bright, the car care products that have been keeping the furious fleet looking their best for a long time already. To find all you need to keep your car clean and protected, follow the link below to diamondbright.co.uk. Hello and welcome to the 2023 Classic Motor Show. I'm going to give you a very brief walk around of this incredible event, starting here on our very own stand as always, where this time we've got the Little Red Wagon, my Rover 420 GSI Tour, an incredibly rare car here in the UK, very few of them left, under 20 left on the road apparently of this model in the spec. It's not the tidiest, but it's a great car underneath, drives brilliantly, and you won't see another one here at the show. Next to that we've got Ellie, the 2CV, which is Ian Seabrook of Hubnut fame's long-term car. She's owned this car for many, many years indeed. Just had a new engine, I think, last week. So amazing for that to be here. We showed this on the pre-amble video the other day. Very nice. I think it's a 1980 Mark II Escort, round light version. Do like that. Now, let's get over here and have a proper look around what we've got in Hall 3. These rather exciting kit car things. Not quite sure who they're, MEV, don't know them, but that looks a bit like an Atom, but two-seater fun thing, I don't know. But more exciting than that, I'm going to say, more exciting, is this beautiful Bentley R-Type 1952 Empress. What a machine, look at that stunning leather. That beautiful, beautiful wood, that's genuine, amazing craftsmanship. I drove old Bentley for a review not so long ago and absolutely loved it. Right next to us, I didn't see these guys coming in yesterday, I must have arrived a bit late, the Mark II Astra.com Owners Club. We've got ourselves a GTE complete with these turbine wheels, the vents in the bonnet, the leather, is that Recaro leather? I'm not sure who made the leather for these actually. Very cool cars, very much of the moment. This is a GTE 16 valve, as is the gold one. Different wheels, BBS wheels in this one. Do quite suit it actually, it's not got the leather though. And finally, on the original, the Ermshire lattice wheels. My dad had a company car, Cavalier CD Mark II, and an A-plate with those same wheels on it. This is a GSE. Opel, oh, it's an Opel version. Oh, interesting. All the Ermshire bits, left-hand drive, leather. Super cool. Oh, even got the genuine Opel accessories all around it. What a cool car. Let's head over here. Now we have got, I'm not sure what club this is, got a couple of Capris, 81 Capri 2 litre, a 73 Cortina 2 litre GT. Well, this one appears to have a bit of drag pedigree though. Something exciting under the bonnet perhaps. And a Mark IV, possibly 5, I always get these two confused. 4-door. Very nice. Now, this is an interesting stand which I've been looking forward to showing you. This is the Daimler Lanchester stand. Now, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. First of all, we've got a 1907 Daimler TP35. This is the dawn of motoring. There's a 9.2 litre, 4-cylinder, 48 horsepower engine. What a machine. It is absolutely huge. It is fascinating, a real brass era speciality. I guess this is, oh no, not the London to Brighton. What a fantastic machine. I'd love to take this thing for a drive. Next to that, slightly more normal, if you like, 1955 Daimler Conquest Century drop head coupe. Waterfall grille, very elegant lines, very swooping, very nice. Lovely red leather, beautiful wood. Oh, look at the font, real Art Deco font on the dials. There's nothing I don't like about this car. This is V8 250, not a Mark II Jag. This is a Daimler V8 250 Saloon. This is the early days of platform sharing for Jaguar Daimler when Daimler was bought by Jaguar, and they were kind of forced into using the body shell, but they put their V8 in there. I would say it made a better car, if I'm perfectly honest. Then we have this incredible pedal car, which apparently no one is allowed to drive, not even children are allowed to drive this pedal car. But the thing I really wanted to show you all was this Daimler Scout, a Daimler Dingo. And I think I had a model, like an Airfix model Daimler Dingo, and I loved everything about it. The squat proportions, the fact it was a tiny, tiny bulletproof tank of a car. My little tank. And it's called a Dingo, for crying out loud. How cool is this thing? Like this interior, basic instruments, well, everything basic really. Then you've got the radio apparatus behind it, because this is a scout car designed to go up to close to or through enemy lines. Basic leather and string seats, an actual Bren gun machine gun. This is a genuine deactivated machine gun, and there was a certain amount of discussion with hall security, when this was unveiled yesterday, they wanted to make sure it really was deactivated. They didn't want any kind of incidents going off. This thing is very cool. I like this a lot. Also, things I like a lot: discoveries. Project J Preservation Group, dedicated to saving early discoveries. So this is a 3-door. This is a 3-door. And this is a 3-door van, commercial. This is one of the many vehicles that saved Land Rover over the years. For a long time, they sort of lurched from one catastrophe to the next. They made a lot of money, but yeah, they didn't seem to hang on to it. Range Rover Classic chassis, new and exciting 90s styling, very capable, very nice car. I love the graphics on these things from the early days. Such a 90s-tastic vehicle. These stickers with the deliberately rough edges to look like all mountainy. And got the interiors with the colours, the blue and the grey colour scheme in this one, the full beige in this one, but fabric and, well, it's not fabric and half a different fabric. This is immaculate, but you know, this thing could climb a mountain if it wanted to. And these things came on these steel wheels back then, which looked so good. This one, the commercial though, has got some quite fancy alloys on it. Another 3-door, more basic graphics, but this one is less basic under the hood. It's a V8. All manual. Lovely. Sticking with the early Land Rover theme, I think this is a Series 1 club. It is. Really pretty cars. Something I've wanted for a long time. I think I've been priced out of the market for a long time, or forever now. RAF blue, basic interior, 3 seats across. Proper little mule, will literally go anywhere and do anything you want it to forever. This one is immaculate. Look how shiny this one is. This is almost wrong for a Series 1 to be this shiny. It's better than new, honestly. It's a 1952 80-inch. It's just had a full and incredible rebuild. This one is more how I expect a Series 1 to look. This is a 1955. Hang on, it was originally dispatched to the Ministry of Supply at Fort Halstead in June 55. And it's been used as a trials vehicle since 1990. So it's got the winch capstan on the front. Haha, how cool is that? Right, let's walk on and see what's got. Oh, military Land Rovers. So these are Wolfs, are they? This is a Defender 90 diesel. A sort of full wading kit for snorkelage. Got the full radio kit for FFR. So this is a 24-volt car, I guess. Oops. Another one. This one's not fitted out the same way. This is more for just utility. Got the picks and shovels on the bonnet. Same olive drab. This one's a canvas tilt on the back though. And then we've got the desert equivalent. So the desert rat style thing. Again, snorkel, but this time for sand, not for water. Got the desert camo, the desert wheels. The artillery on the roof. This is our Desert Storm spec. And more Land Rovers. I'm really in Land Rover heaven at the moment. I hope you like Land Rovers because there's a lot of them. This is surprisingly new to be here. A pre-production L405 from 2012. So it's 10 years old now, believe it or not. But it's a pre-production car. And it's in a colour called Barossa. And with Cirrus leather. Now normally pre-production cars get crushed. They're not allowed out. So goodness knows how this one has escaped into the wild and found its way here onto the Range Rover register stand. I love the fact it's a 12 plate and it's an RR12 number plate on it. Now this is what I think of as a Range Rover, an original Vogue, a 3-door Vogue. What year is this one? X, so it's around 1980. Wow, beautiful colour. And you think this is the top of the range, the most luxurious car they did. And this is an expensive car. And you've got your fabric seats, radio down to the right of the driver, manual gearbox, carpet. That's kind of your list of luxuries. Manual windows. There are wooden cappings on the door, but I don't know if those are original or not. Oh, police Range Rover. This was an escort to Princess Diana's hearse. Wow, this car has got history. Very topical as well at the moment. Interesting Met Police car. So it's a 1994 car. P38 obviously. V8. Interesting to see how the lights are mounted across the grille rather than cut into it. Then we've got Another classic from when bull bars were cool and you're allowed to have them. I still think bull bars are cool. Obviously they're dangerous and nasty, but you know, that's cool. Again, fabric seats, not leather and everything. Interesting. Manual gearbox, wooden cappings. This is my idea of luxury. This is my perfect personal luxury car. Fabulous. Okay, now we've got a restoration shop. We've done a couple of cool Fiat 500s, lowered metallic paint, custom seats. Loving this thing a lot. And this one is a Jolly. Actually, no, it's not a Jolly. It's a 500 Monte Carlo. Oh, it's a Simca. Oh, okay. Sorry, I was completely misleading you up the garden path here. This is a Simca. Simca 500 Monte Carlo. I've never seen one of these before. Every day is a school day. E-types. And somehow sneaking in amongst them, we've got an Austin 7. Always focus on an Austin 7. So this Austin 7 actually has possibly the youngest owner in the entire show. This is Henry. How old are you, Henry?
I am 11.
And how long you had this car?
Since I was 9, so about 2 or 3 years.
So you are definitely the youngest car owner with what was going to be the oldest car as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
So how many years older than you is this car?
Well, this is 1937. So
Okay. So that's like 63 plus, about 70 something years older than you. That's pretty incredible. And how much work have you had to do to it?
a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
Engine or rust or everything?
Everything.
Oh, really? And
Yeah.
you've done this yourself with your dad or your mum or your...
With my granddad.
Oh, your granddad?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And were they quite good at doing car stuff?
Well, this is an Austin 7 and we have had Austin 7s in our family for ages, so...
Oh, okay. So you knew what to do to fix it then?
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah,
But,
well.
but never had a Ruby, so...
Oh, okay. And can you drive it yet?
Yes, I have driven it up and down my drive in September.
Brilliant. And you're going to do some more driving soon?
Yeah.
Excellent. And are you going to keep this forever?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Until the rest of my life.
Or are you going to give it to your grandchildren one day?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a great idea. Oh, thank you, Henry. That is fantastic.
And I've also got a Facebook page.
Oh, what's your Facebook page?
Henry's Ruby.
Henry's Ruby. Okay, if anyone wants to find that, find Henry's Ruby on Facebook.
Yes.
Thank you, Henry.
You're welcome.
Brilliant. I love this car. Oh, hello, Gordon Keeble. So this is a Gordon Keeble and a Peerless, the Peerless and Warwick Owners Register and the Gordon Keeble's Owners Club. Not many of either of these cars, so understandably they've joined forces. These are very low volume, very interesting, high-end, expensive cars. This is kind of a Maserati rival. Low volume, hand-built. This is the famous tortoise logo on the front. And the Peerless, glass fibre body. I think it's Triumph running gear. GT 2 litre. A cool, exciting little car. I once did the Beaujolais run in one of these with a magazine editor called Gary, he had one under restoration, so we borrowed a good one in blue. That was lots of fun, that car. Oh, hello. As we're mourning the demise of the Fiesta, let's have a quick hello to this Race Spec Mark II on the Burton stand. Wide arches, wide wheels. Check out the splitter. Lovely. There are some motorbikes, but I know nothing about them, so I'll just say they look quite nice. Aha, more unusual rarities. The Bristol Owners and Drivers Association. Very, very expensive cars. Very understated. 1961 406 is this one. Driven a couple of nice cars. Super luxury, but so discreet. That's how the real money lives. A little indicator on the right, on the roof, sorry. That's a curious addition. Oh, that's nice. The Zagato Body Bristol. I've never seen one of these before. Real head turners here at the show today. Yeah, Bristol Zagato 406 short chassis. Short chassis. I can't say it, you know what I mean. 1959. What a thing. And finally, the last Bristol we have here today. Bristol 2 litre. Drop head coupe. Love these door handles, the push out button to get hold of it. So cool. Like a Fiat Barchetta. I imagine that's where they copied it from. Look at that. A dashboard. The red line at 4,250. That's not a fast red line. Let's pop over here quickly. There's some MGs to look at in a second. But first of all, let's look at these rally cars. Wow, I don't know what club this is. Oh, the Historic Rally Festival. So first of all, A 94 Celica with ST185. Proper 90s, amazing end of the heyday of rallying, basically. And rallying's still going strong again now, but 80s, 90s was a real high point. That's very cool. That looks like a Sierra. I believe it is. That light pod really disguises it. Love the wheels. That's very cool. The handbrake, roll cage, fire systems. And this is a Skoda, I believe. Yeah, it's a little Skoda Favorite rally car. These are popular sort of early entry into the sport cars. So this is a 1971 Saab 96 V4, so, which is owned by Ian, but restored to look like Stig Blomqvist's 1971 rally car, which Stig Blomqvist has actually driven and driven on display day and given a proper thrashing. We do love one of these things. Is Eric Carlson also on the side of the car. Brilliant. Right, anyway, we're moving on. We've got a very nice Datsun here. Nissan if you want. The wide body on that is just fantastic. And of course, the Manta. Now, let's jump over here to the DeLoreans. So there's such a contrast of cars. The raw aggression of the rally cars to the sleek stainless steel amazingness of the DMC. Such a cool interior. Always stop and linger on these things because they are just amazing. Nicer with a manual. This one's an auto, which many of them were because they were sold largely to the American market. The grey leather, this is basically almost the only colour scheme you've got. You do sometimes see some other colours, but not very many and not very often. This one's having some accident damage repaired by the look of it. Interesting. Hard to do on these because the stainless skin is so visible. Hello.
That one's only got 100 miles on it.
This car has only got 100 miles on it? What's the deal there?
105. It was found in a barn.
Oh, wow.
Well, in the garage.
Wow.
The guy bought it, drove it home, died. His wife drove it around the block, didn't like it, put it back.
Parked it, never drove again?
Never drove again.
Wow.
Until now. I've added a mile.
Okay, so it's 101 miles in this car?
Yeah, well, 105.
Okay, well, it's a long way from the car park to here.
Yeah. Yeah, 5 of it was adding it, shipping it over, in and out.
Wow. That's incredible. So this is...
Original tyres, a lot.
Original tyres, oh my word. This is astonishing.
Yeah.
This is the most original, I was just saying different colour seats here. Automatic again. That's just amazing. This is the closest you will ever see to a new DeLorean, apart from the ones they're recreating over in America. That's just amazing. 40 years, virtually never touched. The scary double doors. What a cool thing. I still want one of these cars so much. Such a cool vehicle. And we've got some Marcoses over there. Looking like concept cars, basically, don't they? Really cool. Also quite fun. Little Fairthorpes. Tiny toy cars. Little Fairthorpe convertible. Simple mini style dash on there. A little hardtop coupe. Looks like a model out of Thunderbirds. Really cool. Stuff still under covers over here. We have got another rally car, Talbot rally car. Fabulous. Right. Now we've got the Jowetts. Do love a Jowett. Made in Bradford, sorry. This is a utility made from 1946 to 1953. Oops, sorry. Earliest MPV. That's a 9-seater, we'll call that. And we've got ourselves a Javelin. This is one everyone remembers. Incredibly advanced car for the time. Clever engine, clever engineering. Suicide front doors. Very nice interior. That's got lovely wood and rolled around from the dash top onto the dash front. High-end cars, expensive cars. Shame they are no longer with us. MG with us in a different form these days, of course. Well, the pre-war open wheel, well, open fendered. It's MG PA, okay. I'm curious, 1934 PA, looks newer than that. This is the Octagon Car Club. Oh, I do love this boat tail on this one. That's very cool. And we've got the underpinnings. You want to see what lives underneath pre-war MG. This is the chassis, big old differential, fuel tank hanging out at the back. I wish he'd stop talking. Brass dials, pretty plating, I guess. Really simple wiring. Basic wiring limb compared to a modern car, obviously. And last but not least on here, we have this one, a 1953 TD Mark II. Pretty little car. Oh, MGC, Ocelli MGC, Sebring, wow. I'm getting into the trade area here, I think. I might skirt back away from the trade area because there might be some interesting cars, but then the club stands I feel are more interesting. Here we have the Reliant stand. So we've got unusually a four-wheeled Reliant. Don't see those too often. In a van form. I don't even know what to call this one. It is a Reliant Rebel. Do you know what? I don't think I've ever seen a Rebel before. This show is throwing up so many new and exciting cars. Oh, someone's having a little kip underneath his his three-wheeler just there. Genius at work, yeah, well, take your word for it, friend. This is the later version. This is what Aging Wheels has, an SLX. So he's got an SLX, he's certainly got the later one with the fancier wheels on it, over in America. This is what you imagine when you think of the Robin. Oh, it's a commercial, so it's a Regal, isn't it? Or is it a super van? Awesome. Oh, little bubble cars. The BMW Isetta. Car that saved BMW. Oh gosh, there can't be many barn find Isettas knocking around anymore. They must have all been restored, surely. That does look like a fun project, doesn't it? You've got the glass, that's the hard bit to find, I imagine. A Trojan? Looks the same, but obviously isn't. Also a Trojan. Again a Trojan. Just wild things. You can see they were definitely taking something when they drew these things. Well, this one's 100% electric. I guess it's a perfect EV conversion because there's just no weight to carry. And that's a fairly hefty motor for something that weighs literally nothing. That's going to be just terrifying. Quite a fun idea, that. Oh, hello. The Volvo enthusiasts. Now, obviously, we've got the Saint P1800. We'll wander back to that in 2 seconds. Unusually for this show, we've got ourselves a truck. Let's say, what year is this thing? Doesn't say. F88, 290 horsepower, 4x2 trailer from 1975. That is an imposing beast. It really is, isn't it? What a thing. That grille is just the kind of thing specifically designed to terrify car drivers. When that's charging up behind you, flashing the lights, wow. That's full-on intimidation factor with those hellers going like crazy. It's Torslander? No, it's not, is it? Oh, it is a Torslander. 240 Estate, 1992. Such a cool car. And we are in P1800 heaven here. Got 3 of the things. Beautiful car. If you think Volvo's a boxy, think again. Check out the lines. Yeah. 0 straight line. Well, there's 1 straight line there. I'll give you that. Yeah. A couple of Dodge Chargers looking very, almost as intimidating as that big truck. Fiat 500 clubs. Fiat 500s are very cool little cars. I kind of want one, I drive one, and it's a bad one, or not a less good one, and it puts me off. And I drive a really good one, I really want one loads again. Now the 1963 Jardiniere, this is a family version if you want to have a bit more storage. Maybe less pretty, definitely more practical, certainly more quirk appeal. And this is what I thought the little Seat was. Well, I thought this is the Gamine, so it's the noddy car, the full-on noddy spec with the big grille. And this is the Jolie, which I thought the Seat was. So many cars, so many cars. This has even got the wicker seats. Fantastic, and the raffia work carpets. Absolutely gorgeous. And these did a bit of the attention on Twitter yesterday from a couple of people. The Friskies, Frisky Sports. Again, a barn find. Where are these things turning up from? Oh, cool little cars. They're totally Jerry Anderson inspired. Little fins on the back. No actual access to the boot. That's where the fuel tank lives, unless you've got a Zeus key. Otherwise known as a screwdriver. So cool. Those wheel trims, I love the wheel trims. That's so sort of late 50s, early 60s. Oh, whale tail Cosworth. Hello there. Rolls, rolling, rolling, rolling. Very cool stuff. So, oh, a Z8. Hello, Z8. And it's a Z8 manual. Oh, gosh. It's got the M5 engine in a beautiful, beautiful body. This is going to go for a silly amount of money. I nearly swore saying how much money it's going to go for. Look at this red and black leather. The satin. What's the mileage on this thing? Oh, it's digital, can't tell. I'm going to say this is going to be like no miles on it at all. This looks so good. But, you know, I've wanted one of these for a long time, ever since they came out really, but it's like a £100,000 car now, probably more. Oh, one more. Oh, I'd love to have one of these cars, but, you know, it's getting silly money. Oh, not too silly, £24,000. MG RV8, a special edition using the Rover V8 engine in an MGB shell in the 1990s. What a cool looking thing. Absolutely love those. Right, it's nearly time to get into the show, so we'll have a quick look over here. The Bond mini cars. Mini car estate. When two worlds collide, there's a world of load-lugging practical estate cars and crazy three-wheeled 1960s British eccentricity. Well, this is a Trabant, a car I need to get on the stand on the show very soon indeed. Rushing through, love that a lot. 356. Oh my God, not him! Get away from me! Get away from me! The restraining order, it still counts. Hello, Ian. You right?
Oh, mate.
You right? You doing pictures today?
Oh, I'm furiously gonna be.
Just drawing.
You know what? I might rebrand.
You can rebrand that. We need a logo for that, don't you? Like a steering wheel or something.
Steering wheel.
Yeah.
Steering wheel.
With words around it.
Yeah.
I've
seen one?
I don't think so. No.
That's a terrible idea.
No, I wouldn't do that.
Never
No,
catch on that.
I need to get- That's rubbish. Right, no, run away.
Right, go.
Oh!
4 NJ1.
They're very angry about a Porsche that's parked with a trailer. So Lamborghinis, don't let anyone in here. Any old rubbish will turn up. Countach, the hardest car to reverse on the planet. Look at that rear view axle. It's like a stormtrooper's nose. And there's one of those beautiful cars ever built, the Miura. Adorable in every way. I don't know if they're all this colour or if it's the same car I keep on seeing over and over again. Fabulous. Speedster retro replicas. 28 grand. Jeez, how is that 28,850? That is, well, not pocket money, but you know, that's just so cheap for an Aston Martin. That's the kind of thing I'm looking at going, do you know what? I've always actually wanted an Aston Martin. If that's only 28 grand, then frankly, why am I not buying an Aston Martin? Oh, manual, hello. 29,000 for the manual. Suddenly I'm awesomely interested. Was this on a manual? 28 grand. So I'm not car shopping. It was a manual as well. Suddenly I'm, I know I impulse buy stuff, but that's a lot of money to impulse buy when I haven't got £28,000. I don't think I've got £28, but you know, that's very, very tempting indeed. A millionth minor, one of the purple millionths. This is a show-winning minor, apparently. Oh, Valley Gas Speed Shop. Let's have a quick hello to Valley Gas before I go back. Is anyone there? No one's there. Why are there? Valley Gas Speed Shop in Andover makes some of the best custom cars you are going to find. Jimmy and Ellie, the husband and wife behind the company, are into the scene and the life and the cars so thoroughly. They know exactly every detail of what a car should look like. And they always come out perfect, and they've got some of the most skilled people, so everything comes out great from there. So I've shot so many of their cars for Custom Car over the years. Oh, check out this interior. The seats are amazing. The aircraft seats with the brown leather, the baseball glove mitt leather. Fantastic. Oh, the frame on this. The exhaust is running through the frame. Oh, this is just epic. I love this so much. It's cool stuff. I haven't got time to do them all. How am I going to pick and choose? Let's go this way because there's some cool stuff over there I saw. Then I think I'm going to have to head back. Bespoke Land Rovers. I don't know if this is right or wrong because Land Rovers need to be basic and beaten up, and then they also look really good when they're like that lowered. I'm not sure it works, but oh man, Defenders are always cool no matter what you do to them. Okay, pride of ownership. Okay, this is going to be interesting. Let's have a quick shuffle around here. So first of all, very topical indeed. 1981 Fiesta 950 Popular. Genuine 3,500 from new, miles unrestored. This is how it came from the factory. It's just been polished to within an inch of its life. Thank you. That is just amazing. What a colour scheme. What a brave colour scheme for someone buying a really basic car. That is so cool. Okay, next to that, we've got next up is a 1969 Triumph Vitesse. Very different car, but it just goes to show it doesn't matter what your car is. It's what you think of it and how happy it makes you to just drive it and be in it. Very nice car. This one, unlike the previous one, fully restored. Now this one, another different one again. 93 Vauxhall Nova GSI, so small car like the Fiesta, but this one's the hot, exciting one. You can sort of understand someone getting hot under the collar about a GSI, which have all but disappeared, but now it's just so good to look at. The retro loveliness of the box arches and the sharp edges, I absolutely love them now. I wish I could get one. Okay, now this is super exciting. 1985 Nissan Cherry Europe 1.2. Now there's only about 2 of these on the road, and I've driven, well, it'd be the other one basically, because they are just astonishingly rare. This one is so good condition. Look at these arches. Look at those wheels. And these are just fascinating because it's basically a Nissan Cherry and an Alfa Romeo, and there's both badges all over the car if you look hard enough. So you've got Alfa Romeo glass on a Nissan badged car, Boxer 4C on a Nissan badged car. It's basically an Alfa Romeo, Alfa Ana, but it's badged Nissan. Interestingly, they drive almost like an Alfa, but they Nissan'd up for the suspension, so they don't really corner quite as well as an Alfa. Interesting. Another pride of ownership, 1972 Aston Martin DBS V8. It could not be more diametrically opposed to that Fiesta on any level, but look at this thing. Wow. And Prince Charles have one of these, I think. 92 Rover Mini. People always love a Mini. Everyone adores these things. This one's been in, I'm guessing, Mini Mag? Yeah, I think it's Mini Mag. 1380, okay, so a big engine rebuild. 94 Bentley Turbo R. This is, again, immaculate. The pride of ownership cars are naturally very nice indeed. I'm guessing very original rather than restored. I'm not sure what the mileage is on this. But look at the colour, the depth of that blue is just astonishing. You can swim in that. But then look at the colour, one paint to another. The Jaguar XJC, the coupe, really quite a rare car. It's a V12. That colour is just astonishing. Let's have a quick read of the sign. Oh, pre-production chassis number 3, displayed at the London Motor Show. And it was a one-off champagne pink, with pink carpets and pink seat piping. Oh my word, it has as well. Goodness me. Wow, what a thing. And we've got an MGB 65 convertible. So cool. And a 63 Rolls Silver Cloud. Beast of a vehicle. This is the kind of the cartoon Rolls Royce, if you like. The monster, the Cloud 2 is a beast of a car. Absolutely dwarfs the TVR Grand Tourer Mark II. What year is this one? 1960. I love the wraparound rear glass, or Pro Perspex. The roll cage built into it, the wooden steering wheel. Cool car. Oh, and this Bel Air. 1960 Bel Air. This is a standard size car in America in 1960, but it just is just enormous. It is so big. Oh, the drunk vampire tail lights. Oh, wow. An era of excess, but just so right at the same time. Okay, back to Mark II RS 2000. Excess of a different kind. Excess in a very British way, or European way. Black and intimidating. The sharp snoot of the RS 2000, making it unmistakable. The quad lights, the RS alloys. What a cool car. And next to a Lotus Elan Plus 2. Similar kind of idea. Weight is low, engine is powerful, rear wheels are driven. Sleek, sharp, pointy. Very cool. You're very much in touch with one of these cars. You become part of it. Something, well, not completely different, but you know, back to our low volume British cars again. A 64 Gilburn GT, Wales's only sports car, or only car brand, I should say. Not a common car at all. Do drive very well. Again, I think Triumph underpinnings. I'm sorry, always forget. Again, I think Triumph underpinnings, drives nicely, drives like a sports car, should do. Unlike the 1938 Austin 10 Cambridge, which drives like a pre-war car, I'd imagine. But look at the condition. I'm guessing this has to have been restored. Looking at the paintwork on this is better than it came out of the factory. Do love a pre-war car. I need a pre-war car at home. And very different to that again. Pride of ownership is a real mixed bag this year, which is good. Ginetta.
Anyway, obviously you're
Very, very nice. Love the colour, the carbon fibre dashboard. The yellow dials to match the exterior. Fabulous. And finally, of the finalists, a 1983 306 Bauer convertible. Before BMW did their own convertible, Bauer did these heavy-duty T-top conversions. So it's like it is a full convertible, but it's also kind of a Targa top as well. Some people don't like them as much as the later proper BMW convertibles, but you know, they've still got a certain charm of their own, and they drive perhaps a little more solidly because, you know, they've got that T-top built into it. So what, my battery's going and it's time to get the show going, so I'm gonna have to wander back to my stand. I'll see if I pass anything interesting on the way. I passed something interesting. 1935 SS1 Airline Saloon. Streamline Art Deco incredibleness. I don't think I've ever seen one of these before. That is just epic. I need to go back and get a proper camera to take some still photos of this thing. It is just beautiful. Obviously the Jaguar name changed to Jaguar after the outbreak of World War II because SS had other connotations. People didn't like steamships anymore. What a thing. That's real sort of American 30s flow to it. You can see that cruising past the Empire State Building and the Chrysler Building in New York. Oh wow, what a machine. Oh, another quick look at this other V12 XJC. This is the Daimler one, which I thought the other one was going to be honest. Manual, ooh, manual 4-speed with overdrive. Love that colour. I've actually got some Rover P6 mugs, virtually the same colour as that, sale over on my stand, which I'm heading to right now, very slowly indeed. Ooh, hello E-types. Oh, stuff to buy. I could go home bankrupt from this show. Oh, this is interesting. Car grilled chairs. Not char grilled, car grilled. A great idea. Odd furniture this year. Northants Tyres, all your obscure and specialist car and tyre needs, you know where to come. I need to come for something for my P6 actually. I'll come back and talk to these guys later. More extreme Jaguar loveliness, all under restoration at the moment. This one's not got an interior hood yet, but you can see the modern sound deadening, making it lighter and, oh, more better. Very compact little V8 engine there. You know, this looks so good even in patina. Possibly even better in patina. Hard to say really. You'll see the underside of one of these things. Super sparkly. Really nice. And this, I believe, is a Maserati Bora, I think. It is a Bora. Not a car you see too often these days. Looks lovely. Jaguar 66. Nice Jaguar engine action there. This is basically where we had our first NEC stand. Kinda wish we had it again today. Wife forces sale, divorce, 42 years, cars for sale. If that's true or not, I don't know, but it's a great sales pitch if it's not. Is it for real?
Yeah, it is for real, mate.
Oh, really? Oh, this is kind of fun. All kinds of interesting things here. This is in the corner of Hall 4. Yeah, shot blasting and powder coating. Oops, sorry.
Hello.
Hello, you're right. How are you? Many mini metros. I love saying that. MG in orange. Is that the perfect combo? Or is black the perfect combo? MG Turbo. Ooh, such a festival of delight. Oh my word, there's a Nick Larkin. Metros have ridden such a roller coaster of popularity. They came out and they were the exciting new thing, the greatest thing in the world. They've soldiered on for too long, really, so they became a bit of an old hat, bit of a joke. I'm not driving a mini Metro, Lynn, or that kind of thing. But now, 20 years or whatever it is after they've stopped production, people are looking back and going, actually, these things are really quite cool, especially when you get like the fully flat front Austin versions from the early 80s, or the exciting MG versions. They're cool cars. I've never owned one, but I see the appeal. Oh, not another one. Not another one. Hello, you're right. So moving on from the little Metros, we've got the bigger Austin and MG stuff. This is a Austin Maestro nicknamed Uncle Monty, as in with Neil and I. I've come on holiday by mistake in a Montego estate. Oh, look at the brownness. Look at the rear-facing seats with tweed. Brown tweed, oh, and velour in the front. Oh, hang on. The back seats get tweed, the front seats get velour. You really are in the cheap seats, aren't you? Then we've got the MG Maestro. These things were properly rapid. These would show a clean pair of heels to an RS quite happily. Oh, look at that. The Austin Rover Fast Check. Oh man, that's a rarity. That's rarer than the car by a long way. Cool cars. Oh, and a Maestro van. These things got worked to death. There's a few people who really like them and take the time to restore them because they're such unique rarities. A lot of companies had these as their work vehicles and just destroyed them with just out in all weathers every day, all day, working till they was just rotten and bashed. And this one's actually really rather nice. This is actually what year is this? A Maestro 500L, 2 litre Perkins, 5-speed gearbox, 81,000 miles since 1994. And you may know Jason with the Saab, who's appeared on my channel a few times, helping out with things. He had one of these identical, gold with the brown interior. Belonged to his granddad, and he kind of inherited it when he needed a car. Oh, I love this. Period correct mobile phone on the... Oh, I love it. Fantastic. Everything's so brown. Festival of brown. Right. We're now 6 minutes till the show opens. I should probably get back to the stand. Stop it, don't, no. The Rover collection, oh my word, the Rover collection. Stop it.
I'm Andy Saunders, and we're at the NEC Classic Car Show, and I'm here with two cars. The one that you took pictures of some years ago, Tetanus, which is was a 37 Cord. Looking quite happy because I had some paint done this week because I reversed into her a few weeks ago. And the new one on the block, as you said, it's a Riley 2.5 RM. I've made the entire body for this out of bits and pieces. It's all steel. Her name's Deja, and she's inspired by the fabulous period in time of the 30s French coach builds. Heavily influenced by Fagoni and Sauchik, the two competitors. A bit of style of both of them in there.
It's absolutely amazing. How long did it take to put together?
Deja took 6,500 hours over 3 years, 3.5 years.
That's incredible.
It was all spare time as well. But now she's finished, I want to do something else, so there'll be another one here next year.
Well, I've got you. Just quickly mention the book you're talking about.
Yeah, that came about more by accident than anything else, actually. 5 years ago, the guys from Radar magazine said that I should detail my life's work because I haven't got any kids, and when I pop my clogs, there won't be anyone to tell it, which is quite a sobering thought.
I see, yeah.
So I did, and then I met up with Roger Attaway. He's edited it and proofread it, and then it kind of went to a couple of English publishers, and then just by complete fluke, we got the very best publisher in the world, Dalton Watson, was sent somehow a manuscript, and he said it was so good that he wanted to publish it, and he flew over in April from Illinois to meet me and Roger, and on that day he shook hands and said he put my book in publication, and I can't believe it. I am absolutely just blown away by the whole. This year's been a roller coaster, but a really good one.
That's amazing. And where can people buy that?
It's available at the show, and afterwards we will honour the price that it's actually for sale at the show at through me. But then when these run out, it will be through Dalton Watson in Illinois, and the price will be up to their non-show price.
Okay, fantastic.
Thank you.
Hi there, I'm Maxine Xavier, and this is my car, Sundancer. So this has been painted completely in candy on metal flake, and we believe it's the only one around that exists that is completely on metal flake and it's candy, because normally when they do candy, when they go to do a mural, they go into opaque paint, which is on that little car there, so in other words you can't see through the paint, so it's all not transparent. So when you see some of these low riders, they often have metal flake down here, and when they do the designs they can do it in metal flake, in candy, but when they go to do a mural like that, they go back into the ordinary paint, which is opaque. So we believe this is the only one in existence where this is all, the whole car, the entire car, the roof, which has got the sun on it for Sundancer, and this is the naughty nun on the back.
I say.
And they are all in candy.
That's incredible.
And the rest of it is, the only difference is there's gold leaf there.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So it's candy and gold leaf, and engine turn, which I did as well.
Oh,
so
yeah.
the whole thing's been done by me.
Amazing. And you painted it yourself, and you
Completely designed it, painted it, did the whole thing.
That's amazing.
Took me 9 months to do it.
Really?
And while everyone was out this summer getting brown, I went turquoise white.
Translucent.
Yeah, translucent, too lack of sun, and I had rickets as well, from no vitamin D.
You should have metal flaked yourself.
I actually did. I was permanently everywhere I walked. I had gold leaf or metal flake or tape on me.
And so people know who you are. What's your relationship with Andy?
I'm Andy's partner, so I do artwork on some of his cars, and obviously I do my own cars.
Fantastic.
So we sort of work together on quite a few things.
Bounce
So it's really
ideas off
nice.
each other.
Yeah, so we're quite a good team.
Thank you very much indeed.
You're very welcome.
Wow, we are now back in Hall 5. Well, back in Hall 5 for the first time in Hall 5. I've not seen any of this stuff. There's some amazing cars to look at. So that is a Toyota Crown taxi cab. That'll be the Retro Power Project Utah, Duratina, the Chieftain Range Rover Hybrid. Wow, okay. So these are all, an Eagle Speedster. Basically cars that have been modified from classics to alternative powertrains. Just made modern, I guess. Photo bomb. Morning. Now we've got the Opel Manta Owners Club. Opel Mantas are incredibly cool cars. The German Capri, if you like. I kind of prefer them to a Capri, if I'm honest. I did do the Capri versus Manta review a while ago. Oh, hello, this is a very, very nice one. A 400. This is the mega rare high power edition. The ultimate butt of the Manta joke. Wow, we've got some very rare Vauxhalls next to that as well. So I'm not sure which one to go to first, because first of all we've got the Lotus Carlton, which everyone knows is just one of the most incredible vehicles ever made. But I'm also very heavily drawn to this, a Viceroy Estate, 2.5 litre fuel injection, very similar, matching green actually. This has got the leatherette seats, automatic gears, very, very, very posh. Oh, no, sorry, my mistake. 1982 shooting brake, built for Her Majesty the Queen. Wow, this is the Queen's own car from 1982. What an incredible thing. What an amazing car to find and own. So this is for shifting corgis in comfort. Makes the Carlton GSI, which would normally stand out from any crowd, look a bit more ordinary. That's the GSI 3000 though, wow. And of course, yes, Senator 3 litre, favourite of traffic cops for a generation or so. More Vauxhalls and more. So, wow, many birthdays here. So 40 years of the Manta, 30 years of the Cavalier Mark III. Can't believe that's 30 years old now. That does make you feel old. More fun stuff over there. The Toyota Enthusiasts Club. It's a great club for finding unusual cars because, well, so many of these things just didn't come to the UK, or if they did, they didn't sell them, were just forgotten completely. So we've got a Mark II Corona 1900, which is a wonderful looking little thing. Taking a lot of European styling cues and American styling cues and blending them together with uniquely Japanese things, styling. Oh, hello. Is this So this is a Celica 1900. It's not a car you see very often around. I don't think we got them here in the UK. This is the Celica Supra, which is what we showed on the channel just a couple of weeks ago. And this is, well, a big rival really, the Datsun Z cars. Enormous fun things. They've got the Sporting Bears setting up over there for rides out today.
You're right.
The later Supras, which are a very different animal, but an animal nonetheless. Now, this is the Japanese end of the hall. Really interesting cars. Celica Club. This, I think, is the car we actually reviewed on the channel 18 months, 2 years ago. A Celica convertible. Converted in America by ASC over in California. RX-7s. I do love an RX-7. I would love to be brave enough to own one. But the only time to sell and buy one of these is when it's working, because that's the 5 minutes when it's actually working. Now, that's a really cool display they've put up just there. 300 SX, almost a forgotten Japanese supercar. Well, supercar, hot car. And then Imprezas, I love Imprezas so much. Those big fog lights are just, yeah, excellent. 300 C Owners Club. This is what a show. This is if you're coming here over the weekend, you're in for such a treat. Incorporating the Cedric register. Big Granada rival from the other side of the world. I did manage to just skim over the MR2s then, without even noticing. I used to be in the MR2 Owners Club because I used to own a Mark 1. So here we've got all three generations. Little yellow Mark 3, the Mark 2, and the purest of all, the Mark 1. I'd love another Mark 1. These cars are just alive in your hands. Mid-engine, lightweight, just enough power to make them just lively without really getting yourself into too much trouble. People complain about the snapping back end stepping out because of the mid-engine, but really, unless you've got bad tyres, they're very predictable. Right, here we are, we've come home. Rover Sports Register is part of the Rover Village. So, we just saw a really nice P6 a minute ago on the way in. Oh yeah. This is a nice Rover 2000, an automatic, so possibly the slowest car on the planet. Beautiful condition, 1936 Tourer 12. The thing I would say about these old Rover sports Tourers and sports, or any cars from the 30s, is that these have the nicest gearbox of almost anything I've ever driven. Nice colour scheme on this, the cream and red, or cream and rhubarb. Moving on to a 4975. They did keep that 75 and 90 nominal couture going for a long time, didn't they? And a P4. And a Mark 1 Range Rover over there. We've covered a few Range Rovers already, so I won't dwell too long. Now this is the P6 Rover Owners Club, and they've got a VIP. These are the rare run-out models. These were treated to all the extras they could throw at them to get the cars off the lot, basically, as the SD1 was coming out. So they used different fabric, different paint, well, the Huntsman brown roof, all V8s. Really cool things. This one has clearly won a few awards. Now this is very interesting. This is my project come to life. This is a 4.6. This has got the ZF4 HP22 auto gearbox. So this is an automatic. I don't want to go with that route on mine, but it has got the 4.6. Interesting they've had to use vents in the bonnet for heat dissipation. That's curious. And they've taken it down a bit lower. I need to go and have a chat with these guys later on, because this is very interesting. I wonder what wheels they've used. And Another rather special one. This is an Estora, another V8 again, but this is obviously the estate version. Her Majesty should have had one of these, never mind a Vauxhall. Very, very rare, because they were expensive conversions on an already fairly pricey car, but boy did they rot. There was virtually no rust proofing in the conversion. You can see the original saloon wing, and they've built this extra back on there, but they took it apart, didn't really rust proof it, and so the few that were built just dissolved. Oh, and I've just seen something even more exciting, possibly. These little Hondas. The Honda S800 Club. Now, I've seen a few of the convertibles, but I think these little coupes just look so good. The original clown shoe. Now we have another contender for my perfect 25 car garage, the P5B. I love these things so much. Absolutely spot on, perfect, the most British of styling, that wonderful brute of an engine. And the build on these things is just amazing. Again, a car I drove on a video not long ago and predictably loved it. The P6 Rover Club. Now we've got a few more incredibly nice P6s. I'm going to dwell on these because I love P6s. This is Joseph because of the amazing Technicolor paint coat. This belongs to Clive Annabelle, a restoration company in the north. Every panel and every bit of the car is different. So it's got Series 1, Series 2, V8 bits, even under the slam panel. It's got slam panels from a 2000 on one side and a V8 on the other. Every panel is from a different model or generation. Very nicely done. This is another estate. This one though has had a nice bit of extra work done to it, as the owners have taken the roof out and they've welded and smoothed a proper full roof panel rather than hiding it under the vinyl as it came from the factory, which is cool. Lovely metallic green on that as well. P6 is showing very strongly today. This is the classic jam sandwich, the police car that everyone knows and loves and fears. V8 power. We hear though that two-tone klaxon coming behind you and see that little blue policeman's helmet flashing on top. You know you're in trouble. Yeah, preserved vehicle not in service. Maybe some people might imagine this is a real police car. Although having said that, there was an occasion a little while ago when the armoured bulletproof one used for Thatcher was out on the way to a show and it pulled someone over and arrested them. So it can still work, but that one's in police preservation rather than civilian preservation. And this one, another V8, but check out this colour. This is actually an Audi colour. I was just talking to the owner a second ago and we were just saying how well that colour really suits this car perfectly. If only Rover had done this as a factory option, that would be absolutely amazing. The chrome on this is beautiful. Right, Minis. Moving on from Rovers to Minis. I actually followed that red Vauxhall into the show on Thursday, and that Chevette as well. They look really good on the road together. Anyway, Minis. So many Minis. I do rather like a Mini, but there's so much here to run through. Monte Carlo Special. An early Mini Mark I Cooper. There's a less intimidating police car just here. This is the British Mini Club. So many Minis. I think it's all different. I couldn't begin to tell you which is which. Hello. This is the Y register and the O2 register, the O2S register for the supercharged ones, which came out just shortly after the Y ones. Oh, whose car is this? I'm actually in this club, so I ought to know whose is whose. The OBL cars, these were the press cars that went into the magazines and TV reviews when the car was launched, so a journalist you may have know the name of might have driven this car. This is the Cooper. All the Coopers were red, unless they were silver with a black roof, which meant they got the leather and sunroof. And all the ones were blue when they were released, because all the Y cars were basically pre-production vehicles that were used for demonstration and learning the brand, and they should have been taken back and crushed, but they weren't. They were sold. And look, my little car, Y951, is on the stand again because the photo was used for the stand pull-ups, which is great. So I'm always here in spirit, if not in actuality. And we've got the Cooper S's. This is another car from a perfect 25 to 35 car garage. The Cooper S, which is the supercharged ridiculousness of joy. Of course, we have here the accessorization, because this was one of the first cars, like the Fiat 500, which wasn't that far behind it. You could spend more on accessorization than on the car itself. Okay, moving along, we've got a few more things over here. More Rovers for one, the 800 Owners Club. And one of these cars we'll kind of look at later on. Big luxury barge. We've seen one big luxury barge already of these kinds, because Chris Pollitt's green one, the 827 rescue car, is over on the Modern Classic Executive stand. And over here we've got the 200 and 400 Club, which is another one which I don't think I'm in, but I should be. I'm certainly in the Facebook group because I've got some of these cars. 200 VI, this is basically my car but white and, well, shiny. This is the VI, which is the this is the BRM without the extremities and without the fancy differential. It's still got the 1.8 VVC, 145 horsepower, really brisk and a very light car. And a 216 Cabrio. This is Quentin in spirit. Yet another car we've not just had on the channel, but part of the channel. Same wheels that Quentin should have had. This one's a fabric car rather than leather like Quentin had, but this is a post 95, so the bubble dash. Now we've got the coupes, 30 years of the coupe. I should have been at Millbrook celebrating 30 years of the coupe if mine hadn't decided to spit it all across the floor. Absolutely fantastic car. It was so much they did with the R8 platform, everything from the coupe to the convertible to the estate to the saloon, the hatch, and then they lived on in the form of the bubble behind it. So yeah, incredible engineering on a very tight budget. Now we've got the Triumphs, 2000, 2500 and Dolomites. These are just great cars. These are the big rival to the P6 we were looking at just a second ago. A big saloon, powerful, Batflesh engine for the time, comfort, British build quality. This one's got Italian styling though. Another car I've never owned but I would like. The Dolomite though is a car, there's yet another contender for my perfect 37 car garage. Great rally car, rear wheel drive, sporty engine, huge fun. And Toledo. And the BRM, as we mentioned the BRM a second ago, in relation to the VI. This is the one that gets noticed. It's hard not to notice really, isn't it? I have to say I do love the red quilted leather in these. It does make them feel very special.
The string cam engine in it.
Sport 6 Club's got a variety in the Sport 6 Club because so many cars use that engine. We've got a Sport 6 van, apparently. Pre-40 Triumph Club. I'm very tired. I do love a bonnet mascot. I want to collect these things. I love the waterfall grille on these cars. I think there's some SD ones and I've just managed to walk past them somehow. You'd really need to spend a long time going around the show. If you're running around like I am, you do miss so much. Imps are cool. Oh, classic American stuff. Let's have a look at some American cars quickly before I run away over there. Oh, the Hustler. I actually had a ride in this Hustler just the other day. Now this is the Classic American Car of the Year show, so there's some real cool things here. The Riviera. I've never seen a Riviera in brown before. It's an unusual colour for it. A Mustang, ubiquitous. Can't go wrong with a Mustang. Now this is a car, again, we've actually featured on the channel. And I've also shot it for Classic American. The Cord 810 Westchester, my all-time favourite car, literally of all time. The most advanced car in the world at the time. And the most beautiful car to this day. Art Deco perfection with V8 in the front. Suicide doors. The owner of this car's got quite a collection of American cars and he's a rather good mechanic, so keeping something that's running is not a problem for him because he's got an electro pneumatic gear shift in there. So that little gear joystick down there is your gear shift. And it all works. The gears down here with little solenoids and things, which in the 1930s was very, very clever and advanced, but you'd think sticking it down here in the front of the car, where it's most vulnerable to the weather, is a crazy thing to do. Also just being uncovered here is this massive Dodge Coronet 440. It's like the 7.2 litre in that. Something like that, yeah, it's huge. It's ridiculous. Such massive excess. I love these angular C-posts. Oh, it's just beautiful. Long straight lines that go on and on. This is like bigger than my Crown Vic, but it's only a 2-door. It's ridiculous. Also big and ridiculous and very, very cool is this 59 Caddy. Look at the restoration project on this thing. So much work's gone into this car. Absolutely stunning. Oh, we've got a Buick GS convertible, which is a stage 1 apparently. Very cool indeed. And finally on here, apart from whatever's under that cover, they're still uncovering things. Not even wake up time yet. Old 442. Morning! How cool is that? Now, we've also got some hot rods, proper traditional rods. One lane, 30s today, highboy, 1929 highboy, which means it's tall. We've got the open wheels, no bonnet sides, the Offenhauser heads, all the classic parts. Oh, check that out, that's proper classic hot rod style. 32 Roadster. These early 30s, late 20s Fords are the archetype hot rod, and they look so good. It's a classic formula that you really can't beat. There's a reason there are so many of this style of hot rod still being built even today. You can buy the body, the frame, everything just off the shelf and build one from scratch rather than modifying a classic if you want to. Corvettes. Do love a Corvette as well. Oh, every generation. I was going to say in a row, but they're not. I should look further ahead before I start talking. No C4. My favourite is the C4, and there isn't a C4. Dagnammit. This is the latest, very angular, the Ferrari killer. Now, apparently this is the Mustang Owners Club, but that's definitely not a Mustang. That's a Turtle Speed custom shop, I guess. Aha, this is my home club. The Medway Monkeys have got a stand here today. There's some cool cars in my club, and mine. Octane hairdressing for men. This is really cool. A Mazda Porter Cab. I've never seen a Mazda Porter Cab before. I've not seen this at any of the meets yet. Huh, check the Lego version, that's so cool. Orange interior, awesome. So this Datsun's a regular at all show events, and so is this Honda. This is the Aston. Quite a cool thing about this particular club is everything from heavily modified, lightly modified, to genuine classics. And this is the Supra we actually had on the channel about 2 weeks ago. Brilliant car to drive. That's an MGB V8 actually. This is a Plymouth Sport Satellite. A cool car, 2-door. And then of course the ubiquitous Dodge Charger. Can't go wrong with a Charger ever, really, can you? Now let's get distracted by that because we've got real cars at last, proper cars. We've got ourselves the Crown Victorias. Someone said there were Crown Vics over here and it's taken me an entire day and a bit to get over and see them at last. So this is a Massachusetts, a Whale post to 1998 full size. This is a proper squad car. So we've got the full center console with multiple radios and equipment. We've got the Panasonic Toughbook. We've got the Prisoner barriers and even window things. I wonder if this has got the bulletproof doors in it. I wonder. This is, I really wanted to get these Appleton lights on mine, and the bull bars, the Cetina bull bars with the side strobes. This car's got everything. Now there's 2 generations here represented. There's another one of the Whale cars over there. We'll look at that in a second. This Sheriff car is what they call the Aero because it's got a slightly sleeker front end. It's actually the same car in the middle. If you look at the doors, they're pretty much interchangeable, but the front is a little bit lower and sleeker. This is a pre-98 car, very comfortable inside. I'm guessing this wasn't originally a cop car because it's got wood in it, but it has got Police Interceptor written on the wood. Crown Victoria. Now this is the proper light show. We've got the in-grille lights, we've got the in-lamp lights, the white ones, we've got on the dash ones, we've got on the roof. Oh, check out that big old rooftop barge. I've got the different generations you see as well. On the old Aero cars, you've got the much bigger, wider lamp, and then getting more streamlined on the later cars. The LED lamps looking so modern and cool. Wow. And of course, let's nip around the back very quickly before we get told to turn the lights on. We've got the tail lamps, the blinkers in the tail. How cool is this? If you saw the video of the American Speedfest day, all the cop cars running around the Brands Hatch track, that was this, plus sirens. Awesome. So this was actually a genuine Michigan State Police car. So everything on this car is as it would have been in service in the noughties, complete with the gumball light and this bizarre take a pedestrian's face off stop thing, which for those are motorcycle cops. They can see you from the side. This is as it came in the correct colour. That one, police car from new, was spec with carpet. Really unusual. Anyway, let's move on. We've got 10 minutes before I get back to the stand. Got more Vauxhalls. Awesome. I'm going to start running at this point. Got many Volkswagens and Audis. Corrado VR6. Air-cooled barn door 1954, but very modified. Check out the wheel with brakes. Great conversion on that. Audi's looking awesome. 5-cylinder. Modified Golfs. The water-cooled Volkswagen scene is a big evolution from the air-cooled Volkswagen scene. Some very cool cars live in it. The natural home of the BBS alloy, looking very good indeed. And I've mentioned air-cooled VWs, and here we are. You can never go wrong with a Herbie replica. You can never go wrong with two-tone turquoise and cream with a complete replica on the roof. Fantastic. Got a grey one over there looking really nice. Oh, hello. What do we got here? Type 3. Square back. It's a great idea for, or a curious idea I should say, an estate car with engine room back. You know what, I think this is actually the Imperial that was on the channel not very long ago. This was a divine car to drive, so comfortable, so luxurious. Oh, this beautiful car. And then next to that we've got, oh, various other Hummers. I'm running because I need to be at the stand because I didn't realise the show had actually opened and I'm not there. That's a super snipe. Oh dear me, I have to come back. Ah, great display there, I love that. Roots cars, I've never owned a Roots car, and there are so many great ones. I need to actually get hold of one day. Great thing about owning a Roots car, don't pay road tax on them, all over 40 years old. The electric 2CV van, 2CV EV, CV, as I think I called it. And of course, the electric prototype 2CV, was it prototype or was this production? Anyway, yeah, awesome. So fun because they kind of keep the characteristics of the 2CV really well. And these are genuine 2CVs from 2CV Shop who do the same conversion. Yeah, the electric ones do really well. Apart from the noise, you get all the same handling characteristics, similar kind of drivability, well, better drivability really. Great things to own. Right, so we've blasted away into the hall on the third day, Sunday morning. This is before anyone's got here yet. And this is the car of Sarah Crabtree Crabbers, friend of the channel, always good fun, always up for a laugh. She's, like me, been in Classic Retro Modern magazine, a story about her life and her motoring, and Ivan the Ital. And this is kind of fun, a frisky sport. People keep talking about friskies on Twitter this week for some reason, but what a cute little thing. It looks like it's going to be amphibious or able to fly. It can do neither of those things. 72 MGB, always a classic, as is the Triumph Spitfire. I'm not spending much time on them because they're not good, just because there's so much other stuff to see and we know what they look like. This is the Lancaster stand. We should come back and say hello to the nice people here later on because I haven't seen any of these people yet today. We've got a very nice Austin here, which is, what is this? Austin A40 Devon. Of course, I think stealing the limelight somewhat is little J40. These are the coolest toys in the world. Sadly, far too valuable to let a child anywhere near these days. They're absolutely thousands. Here we have, if you're a fan of the Hubnut channel, you'll know what this is. 1989 Zavasta Yugo Sana, which is, well, modern motoring from a different place and a different time. Oh, I think drove this, so hey, good news. And of course, this is absolutely brilliant. The bonkersness of motoring at its finest. When cars get used for advertising, that kind of stuff, this is the Outspan Orange based on a Mini. Back from the 1970s, the amazing Outspan. Looks like a giant golf ball. Really cool. Anyway, let's move on. So we've got relic electric vehicles, we've got modified Fiat 500, Volkswagen van, Land Rover. Do you agree with this? Do you think this is heresy, or this is a great way of keeping classic cars alive into the future? I'm not going to get into that argument. Honestly, not worth it. Young driver. Now that is awesomely fun. What else do we have over here? Now we have the fate of many a cool old commercial. This is a coffee van out of, I was going to call it an ape. It is. Vespa car. Oh yeah. Now Maguire's stand has got some amazing things. It's too early for all the covers to be off, so I can look at this beautiful 1961 Ferrari 250 GTE, which is £1,000,000,007 worth of car sat here. Stunning Pininfarina bodywork, shiny chrome wheels, beautiful interior. Everything about it is just absolutely amazing. A Volvo Amazon, which you can't see. Golf Mark 1. The Maguire stand is always pretty cool. We won't talk about that because we prefer Diamond Bright stuff. Oh, this is very, very fun indeed. Top rods. So much fun. I'm sure my son wishes he was small enough to fit into one of these. Sadly, he's just a touch too big. Now this is exciting. This is one of Jaguar's Le Mans class. Has driven recently up the hill at Goodwood. The glory days of Jaguar in racing. A 1988 Jaguar XJR9, and this was a Le Mans winner, driven by Jan Lammers, Johnny Dumfries and Andy Wallace. I actually drew these cars for my art GCSE. I got marked down because they thought it looked like commercial art that I copied, but I'd drawn it myself from my own imagination. I was quite hurt. We're on the Jaguar Enthusiast Club over here, by the way. This is a 1933 Standard Swallow SS1 Coupe, and isn't that thing beautiful? You might have noticed throughout this video that I am drawn quite heavily to the 30s cars. I've never owned one, but I just love the lines and the shape, the Art Deco influence, and just the added glamour of these things. So cool. E-Type and an XJ. The father and the son, if you like. Oh, this is Princess Diana's 1987 XJS V12 Cabrio, specially produced by Jaguar Cars. So she can carry the two young princes. Now, you may recall we drove her actual Mark III Ford Escort last year, I think it was. And then she graduated fairly rapidly from the Mark III Escort onto much finer things with this. So there's little seat belts in the back there where the two princes would have sat, and that's where Diana herself would have been. Incredible. Now, moving on to their big rival, Mercedes-Benz Club. I probably ought to come over and join this club, as I'm actually, owning several Mercedes. I wonder what it costs. They've got some really nice cars on here. In fact, all really nice cars from Mercedes. R129, SL 500 Mille, V12. I've never owned a V12. I ought to own a V12. Oh, now we've got an SLS AMG, the Gullwing of glory. Look at that thing. The carbon fibre, the leather, that sports steering wheel.
I can pick you the engine.
Oh, yes, please. Is it yours?
Yeah.
Wow, very nice.
My own life crisis. What's that? Is that good?
Here we have that magnificent 6.3 litre monster built by Eric Reichemann in, well, whatever year this car was built. Isn't it a masterpiece? It's absolutely beautiful. These things are just amazing. It's amazing how far back behind the axle the engine is, so you get this incredible weight distribution on what's actually a fairly compact car. But everything about it is just remarkable. Now this is pretty amazing and really cool for it to be here. This is an air suspended W108. And these have really become popular. At the shows I've been to this year, we've seen 108s that have been slammed on air. But it's fantastic that the owners club here has actually embraced this and brought one here onto the stand as well. These look so good when they're done this way. They really do suit it. One I've not seen put on air yet is one of these 220s. The old ponton. which I think would actually look pretty good. Oh, there's fingerprints everywhere. This is a 1955 car. I've not seen one of these on air yet, but you never know. Give it time. Can you be persuaded to put air suspension on this?
Sorry?
Can you be persuaded to put air ride suspension on this one?
I don't think I would do, no.
Well, maybe after a couple of beers, perhaps. Of course, the W113 SL, fabulous car. I always thought I'd get one of these, and suddenly they became worth more than a house. So I'll probably leave it for a little while. And finally on here before I run away, we've got the 1979 W116 450 SEL, the Dictator's favourite. I love the wheels. I'm going to get some of these from 123 eventually. And lastly, the 190. I always had a soft spot for the 190s, the W201 chassis. I always thought they were the really cool cars when they came out. And I was at school and these came out and they looked so exciting. Anyway, right, let's move on. We've got Porsche Club Great Britain. We've got all the 911s. 924s, everything. Let's have a quick one around. Carrera 2.7 whale tail, which is awesome. That black paint just suits us so well on this Carrera RS. And we've got the Martini paint on the 924. Le Mans Ségier 77. That looks so perfectly 1970s in all the right ways. We've got a 944 Turbo, which is like an evolution of that, really, isn't it? Very similar in many ways. And they've got the 996 Turbo, the car that was kind of dissed by the Porsche community for so long, but really is a great car. It's still a bargain entryway into the 911 life, and something I think I might have to take the plunge on before too long. Now I've got the other classic 911 shape. Beautiful cars, so 1980s, so lovely. Again, Boxster, another great way into the Porsche world. And the Cayman, which some people even say drives better than the 911, dare it be said. And finally, we've got a 2.7 Carrera RS. Oh, fantastic cars, beautiful, fun. The thing about 911s is everyone gives them so much build-up that you think it's a bit of a flash in the pan kind of thing. But the thing is, until you drive one, I didn't really get it until I drove one, then you drive it and you really do get it. Okay, Noble have got a stand here, Owners Club. These are really interesting cars. Carbon fibre body, Yamaha Judd V8 twin turbo engine making 650 bhp in a, well, under 1200 kilo frame, 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. Built in a shed in Northampton. Absolutely amazing. This is a factory press car, incredibly. Amazing engineering. This is the typical of, or a continuation of the old sort of British Fred in a shed from the 50s and 60s, taking production car parts and mixing and matching it all around, making something different. This is the old M12 GTO from 2002 with the 2.5 litre Ford Duratec V6 with a twin turbo on it, making 350 horsepower, which in 2002 was pretty epic, really. And I've been up and down a couple of runways in these things, and they are astonishingly good. This one's got a 3 litre V6 Duratec in it, also an M12. Well, it's always good to see the Allard stand. I do love an Allard. They're this weird, quirky madness that makes the car world great. It's a sort of low volume, custom built almost thing with a massive great Cadillac V12 in it. It's just insane. These things are proper hot rods, but given a gentleman's veneer of class. But if you want to be a rich hooligan, this is the car for you. And following on that theme, we've got the Bristol Owners Club. I think we've seen some other Bristols somewhere else in this hall, haven't we? I'm honestly losing track. Sort of doing this thing an hour at a time on 3 separate days. This is quite amazing. We've got 400s. What's this one? Another 400? Another 400. Okay, we've got some 400s. Okay, now this is properly exciting. We've got a Jaguar XJ220. And this is a V12 one, which I guess means it's a prototype. Yes, it is a prototype. Wow, this is absolutely stunning. I was lucky enough to sit in one of these up at Gaydon Heritage Centre a little while ago, working with Ian Hubnut back when we were both working together on Classic Jaguar magazine. And that was an honour in itself. But this thing is just insane. It's wild that we've got the clocks in the door. This one has got actual opening, like normal doors. The prototype I sat in had got terrifying scissor doors where the hydraulic rams didn't work and you had to get someone to let you out. This has got the manual gearbox, which is fabulous. It's got Alpine stereo, which is the most late 90s or 90s thing you can imagine. All the hand finished leather, and in the back we've got the V12s. Look at those inlet trumpets. This thing is just a racing car, and it is fabulous. Look at those huge aluminium suspension components. It's just, lost for words. It's absolutely stunning. Those wheels that look amazing on anything. Oh, this car is beautiful. Okay, and we can't ignore the absolute thunder and grunt of this V12 XJ. Touring car, isn't it? Again, another Goodwood favourite. Check out the fast fill fuel tanks, and this is something you actually need if you're running one of these as a daily car, frankly. They're a little on the thirsty side. What a cool thing. Look at that spoiler, that's just stunning. Interior stripped out for racing, but you've still got the wooden dashboard. It is a gentleman's racer, after all. And moving across quickly, we've got the Swallow, which has got that incredibly dangerous but oh so beautiful hood ornament just there. It's a 1931 Swift 10 Swallow Saloon. Lovely colour combination, like a 1970s avocado bathroom. Beautiful green interior. This thing is just the best. Now here we have the BMW Car Club of Great Britain, and they've got some quite nice cars here, as we said. We've got the 2002 TII, which is a pretty impressive car. This thing making about 130 horsepower back in 1973 was, well, it was an impressive thing, and it still is, frankly. Absolutely beautiful looking car, and, well, it's understandable why they're so valuable now, because, well, everyone wants one because it's just gorgeous. Now this is a 1800 race car. This has got a maximum RPM of 8,200, which is astonishing. 5-speed dogleg gearbox. That's quite a weapon. This is less of a weapon, but very cute indeed. A BMW 700 from 1963. And this was a cute little, almost DAF-like thing. A lovely little tartan interior, a wooden dash, adding a little touch of class to the middle classes motoring for the Bavarian family. BMW AM1. It's well known the first BMW was actually a Austin 7 built under license. This is one of those, but it looks like it's been slightly adapted for sport and looks good on it too. This one is a 1932 car, 844 cc's and a 1 3/4 inch SU carburettor. It does look nice, doesn't it? And this is another one of the licensing things. Say licensing. This is a Fraser Nash 315 Sports from 1934 to 1937 with a 1.5 litre overhead valve engine with triple carburettors and more of those fantastic 1930s flowing lines. Now here we get into some real BMW performance. Exciting and beautiful. The kidney grille very much in evidence. This is a 328 from 1936, I believe. 80 horsepower, 4-speed gearbox, aluminium body. And look at those dials. What a fabulous thing. It is just epically good. So good. Before we jump onto the more modern stuff, we've got ourselves an ex-John Surtees 1957 BMW 503 Cabrio, which was the Earl's Court Motorshow car. An all-alloy 3.2 litre V8 making 150 horsepower, a top speed of 128 miles an hour. And it is a thing of beauty. Wow. Look at the way the door handle is stepped inside the door card. Look at the red grille on the radio speaker. It's just glorious. Those dials, the font on the dials. Oh, I love everything about this car. Amazing. Now, for a certain generation, if you say classic BMW or performance BMW, this is what you're going to think. The E30 M3 Evo. This is a sport Evo on a G plate. Oh, these things just made BMW, cemented them as a performance car weapon of choice. These were the coolest things in the world for a long time, and I'll be honest, to a certain extent they still are. I wasn't going to come back to the Polish We Can't Name stand, but they have got this absolutely astonishing BMW Rover 420 SI, 1998, which lives in Bedfordshire now, but I am 97.3% certain that this is a car that Stone Cold Classics sold just a few weeks ago, and it hasn't really changed since then. It was unbelievably stunning. I was going to do a video on it, but it sold just so fast. I think the mileage on it is about 12, and the condition is as new. It's like a showroom but better. So yeah, amazing to have driven straight off the forecourt into a show. So well done to Wayne at Stone Cold for prepping this car so nicely. 1987 Renault 11 Turbo. God, when did you last see one of these apart from in James Bond? Another car which I need to actually add to my collection at some point is an Alvis of some sort. I've never owned one of these, and they are just really cool things. Again, with the hood ornaments looking so good. A desperately dangerous but oh so pretty thing to stick on the front of a car. This is another of Britain's great marks, and they're not all big, glamorous, flowing saloons and convertibles. They have some quite small and sensible cars as well. It's a real shame that this is another brand that just doesn't exist anymore. An evolution of that flying bird. Oh, we're running out of time before I have to get back to the stand again. This happens every morning. I'll nip through the Bugattis. We spent a lot of time on the Bugattis last time we were here. Wowzers. What's there to say? If you want to look at Bugattis a lot more, have a look at my Schlumpf collection video from this summer. And we saw the biggest Bugatti collection on the planet. Oh, this one's cute. A Bebe Peugeot, so it's not actually a Bugatti, but really rather fun. A Tory Bugatti in a Bebe Peugeot. Interesting. Okay, GT40 Club. This is, I'm guessing, a fairly exclusive club. There aren't that many of these things around, and they're not cheap. Absolutely amazing things. Absolutely ruin your head with those doors. Every time I get into one of those things, it hurts. Okay, before I run back to my stand, I'm going to look at the Alphas, because they're Alphas basically. So first of all, the Sud. It's 50 years of the Sud. The Sud, I should say. Pretty cars. Lasted a long time in production, and they were just so good. A real, genuine driver's car. This is a later model. Next to it, we've got an earlier model, this Mark 1. Cracking green colour. But I'm going to jump onto that because I've been such a fan of the 33 for absolutely decades. For many years I wanted a Mark 3 or Series 3, wound up with a Series 2. I'll be honest, it's the only unreliable Alpha I've ever owned, but I think it's down to its previous owners rather than the car itself. Look at those chunky square seats, the chunky square styling. There's a fantastic boxer engine hiding underneath that bonnet. Okay, so this is actually, it turns out to be a permanent 4, which is like the holy grail of 33s. There's about 2 of them left in the country, not many more in Europe. This is a quad cam thing, making a lot of power. That's one of my dream cars there, basically. This is an early 146. We carried on the Boxer initially till the T-Sparks came in. Look at that beautiful little cam tail just there. This car is not massively well spec'd, but it's in immaculate low mileage condition, and it won the Alpha National Concours event this year. These are all Boxer engine cars, apparently. This is a Sprint 1.7, which is one of the very last cars. In fact, I think the 146 and 545 were the last cars to have the Boxer, but the Sprint was also one of the last iterations of the Sud chassis, and you also used that. 2 generations of the early and the late. You can see how they've evolved and just sort of 1980s-ized it with the different wheels, the plastic trim and so forth. Great looking cars, and this is an actual one-make race series car, original from the period. And of course we've got an early, last of all, what is this one on? Oh my word, another Sud. So yeah, it's a big year for these cars. 50 years of the Sud, anniversary of the engine. Cracking little cars, really good things. And we do have a Stelvio on here. The tenuous link being this is built in the same factory as the Suds were all those years ago. There you go. Now, I've got to get back to my stand. I'll try and get back to this hall in a little while. I'm running at this point the Henry Royce Memorial Foundation. We've got a Shadow 2 in a lovely metallic brown. We've got a 1929-2025. Got a Bentley Continental you know what, I actually drove one of these the other day for a photo shoot, not for the YouTube. It was a W12, and do you know what? It was amazing. I really want one of those. Oh, that's a big car. I like that. So here we have some incredible recreation Lancia Stratoses. The Stratos Enthusiast Club's got them on here. That one is an Alfa powered one, and these two are powered by Toyotas. So they've got the oldest car in the show here with a 3.5 HP from 1899. I think there's another 1890 something car around the show as well today. I haven't found it yet, but this is really quite spectacular. It is the absolute dawn of motoring. You see how different things were. The tiller steering rather than a steering wheel. It does have pedals though, although everything is operated in a way you would not relate to in modern terms at all. Slightly vulnerable radiator, but it looks fairly chuff. Anyway, that's where things began from. Even got wooden slats on the radiator. Anyway, things changed dramatically by the time we found this little Fiat Strada, which is almost as rare as that just there. So few survived. Oh, great little cars though. This is a personal favourite of mine, Fiat 132. Glorious 3-box saloon, 4-door. Apparently 50 years of this car. I didn't realise that. Very similar to the 131. So much more advanced and exciting than the equivalent Cortina, for example. Don't hate me, Cortina people. 32, which is virtually the same size as a 131, it turns out. Just a quick talk to the owner. You could, in distance, mistake one for the other. Look at this pure 1980s boxiness and brownness. Oh, it's so nice. I love the position of the gear lever sprouting towards you for sporty driving. This car doesn't even have a radio in it, which is unthinkable in today's world. I love the checkerboard velour. That is so nice. A roomy car, also rather upmarket, with twin courtesy lights in the C-posts. Isn't that cool? What a lovely car. Now we have a 124 Spider, lovely, so cool. We have a brown Abarth. Who'd have thought an Abarth would look good in brown, but it really does. The Scorpion looks good on anything. Then we have a little 128. This car does actually have quite an interesting story. It's been in the same family since brand new, passed from father to son and was restored during lockdown. It's a good story. I think we'll come back and revisit this with a bit more detail later on. Now this is ideal for this situation. I rather would have had this than Bob the trailer tent. I've been told it's not a trailer tent, folding caravan. This is really, really cool. A Fiat Uno that doubles up as a pop-top camper. That is travelling in style and luxury. I like this a lot. And also very, very much like four-wheel drive, jacked up, off-road, go anywhere Panda. That's so, so good. There might be Panda there. Anyway, I need to run back to my stand. Right, so let's go. And unmistakably, we do have this computer vision SD1 driven by Tony Pond. What a stunning machine. Well done to the SD1 Club for bringing such an awesome car. I do love an SD1. One day, one will sit on my drive. Probably not today though. We'll work up to that though. So as always, I've managed to miss most of the show, but at least it's been good to be here. And it's coming to an end now, any moment now. There's going to be a cacophony, and that's going to be it. Another classic car show is over. That's it for another year. That's it folks, show's over. Thanks for watching, like, subscribe, join me in the next video when we'll be back in the real world. Bye! Bye bye!